Good afternoon. You're watching Millennial Diligence. My name's Tom. Today I wanted to talk about this concept of doom spending. You guys familiar with doom spending, right? It's this idea that, well, things are just going to shit, so I might as well just spend myself into oblivion by going further into debt, using credit cards, using loans, taking out a car loan, a high interest car loan where the rates are pretty high right now. This idea that it's just not going to get better, so I might as well enjoy my life now. I can understand. I want to start off by saying I can understand that whole way of thinking. I can really get my head around, honestly, especially for the millennial mindset. But I would caution one from engaging in something like this as a temporary band-aid to maybe a larger issue, personally. I'd say, yeah, you might take that trip to Fiji or something and you're going to be 10 grand in debt and it'll be fun for that week. And you can say, well, I was being impulsive or I wanted to do this for my mental health or something. I love that. That's the new buzzword. I'm doing it for my mental health. It's all about self-care. Really, my concern is that people are going to spin themselves into oblivion, and the problem that they were having before they spent the money, they are going to dig themselves deeper into that same issue. Um, I really don't think that the sky is falling as badly as some people seem to think it is. And there will come a day when, if you were in a bad financial position and you went ahead and put yourself in a worse financial position by engaging in self care or it's for my mental health, you're going to be in a worse off spot in terms of self care and mental health if you don't fix your house financially. Now, that's not to say that self care is not a real thing. I totally understand that kind of thing. You need to put yourself first. You need to focus on your health. I'm saying that going on a trip to Bora Bora and trying to find the inner child or something while spending money you don't have is not the right approach in 99% of situations. It's I don't think it's the right approach. If there's something that is actually irking you and you feel like you're just working yourself to death, you're not making any progress, I would take a step back and evaluate what you can do in your immediate vicinity rather than saying, well, I have this to look forward to. I'm going to spend all my money on something that I'm going to plan all year and maybe save up. Like, that's one thing. But if you go into a bunch of bad debt, credit card debt, for a trip that's supposed to alleviate your issue, I think you're going to come to find that it's not going to alleviate anything. It'll alleviate it temporarily because ignorance is bliss. You'll be able to forget about the position you're in financially. But beyond that, it's not going to actually fix or address the problem. So I don't know. This whole phenomenon of doom spending has me. This phenomenon of doom spending, I think, it's a reflection of how we're kind of at wits end as a generation, Gen Z and millennials, where it's just kind of like we're working hard, we are productive, we did all the right things, we went to college, but we're still struggling and we're going into debt. The light of the end of the tunnel is getting hard to see, and doom spending is one of the symptoms. It's one of the outcomes. It seems like, and I can understand it from a psychological perspective. I really can. It seems to present some kind of relief, but it's so temporary that I understand. Like, it's so fleeting, and you're basically just like any other kind of debt. You're screwing your future self. You're saying, future me can take care of it. That is a very dangerous, slippery slope to go down, and that I would say that for any kind of bad debt, any kind of thing where you got to bust out the plastic and test your limits on that card, is it's screwing your future self. So, what do you guys think about this doom spending? Is this just a symptom of people being at the end of the leash? Is it just hedonism? Is it just, well, I want to do something for me and the world's on fire anyway, so why don't I just do it? Have you engaged in this? I mean, I don't think I have in the grand sense. I haven't really went to Greece for a summer and just dropped 30 grand. I make small, I make purchases. I definitely splurge, but nothing in terms of just going down the rabbit hole of full on doom spending. Like, forget it, nothing's ever gonna get better. I'm just gonna spend whatever credit they'll give me, I'll just spend. What do you guys think about that? Have you engaged in it? What do you think about the psychological aspect of doom spending and the future ramifications of it? Because if you want my take, it's not the sky's not falling quite yet. It may seem like it, but all these systems that are in place right now are going to be around for a while. And it may not be the best idea in the world to just kneecap yourself financially for a quick trip or, you know, a major expenditure that is it's gonna satiate you for a little while, but it's not gonna do it long term. What do you guys think of that? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Been loving reading all the comments, all the likes, all the shares. If you can share these videos, it means the world to me. So yeah, it's been so great to read your comments, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. So doom spending, what's the deal? Have you engaged in it? What do you think of it? What do you think about the psychological aspect? That's what I always think about in terms of these kind of trends that we see, especially with millennials. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one.